Vinohradský Pivovar.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. First thing I want to get out of the way, if I pronounce that wrong, I do apologise, but I just cannot speak Czech. I've got a Polish mate who I asked how this was pronounced, and he said a Polish person hears a Czech person speaking, it sounds like a Polish person who's drunk. Now, don't ask me how that works out. I'm not getting involved in them sort of politics, but that's what he said. So I really am guessing here. It looks like, is it Vinohradský Pivovar? That's what it looks like to me. Vinohradský Pivovar. Anyway, if it's not, tough. I can't speak the language, but they're from Prague, and this is a Czech Pilsner, and I haven't tried or haven't reviewed a Czech Pilsner in a hell of a long time. I've tried a Czech Pilsner. There was a local pub just down the road from me when pubs were open. Remember that? God, this is going back last year, this was. And there's a pub in Maidstone, and they import Budvar direct from the brewery on keg, and they get it, and it tastes absolutely gorgeous. And Czech Pilsner has got its own distinctive style. It is really well balanced. Where you've got German Pilsners, North German Pilsners have a dry finish, and they're nice, don't get me wrong. But the original Czech Pilsners are just perfectly balanced, and they are absolutely gorgeous if you get a good one. And I think Budvar is pretty underrated. A lot of people going on about Staropramen, but they brew Staropramen in this country, and it really isn't good. Believe me, it is not good. I think it's brewed up in Northampton, the home of shit beer, and I've tried it here, and I've spoke to a fella from the Czech Republic. We did a gig over there in, I think it was 2013. Amazing place. We played in Prague, and we've done two gigs. One was in Slovakia, one was in the Czech Republic. The one in Slovakia wasn't that great at all, to be honest, but the Czech Republic was in I can't remember the name of the place. It was right near an army garrison, and we stayed in this hotel. It looked like something out of a 1960s James Bond film. I'm sure the rooms were bugged, but it was a great gig. And Staropramen was, I think it was 90 cents, and that's not, 90 euros, 90 cents that was. And it was dirt cheap, and it was amazing stuff. But I did try Budvar over there, and it tasted absolutely amazing. And I haven't tasted it as good since I tasted it down in the pub in Maidstone, and that was brilliant. And that was the last time I tried a Czech Pilsner, so I'm hoping this one is going to be good. This lot are a craft brew outfit. They have a brewery in Prague, which also doubles up as a restaurant, I think. Not much information about their history and all that, but they're the sort of genuine article. They haven't got much pedigree. They don't make a big thing about their history, but I'm looking at the ingredients here, and they look really good. So, without further ado, I'm going to tell you what's in this beer. It has got it says beer pivo. So I'm assuming pivo in Czech means beer. Is that right? Could be wrong. I must sound like an absolute bellend to anyone who speaks Czech. But it's Czech Premium Pale Lager, unfilled, unpasteurised. Ingredients: water, yeast, malted barley, hops, and it's Saas hops and Premiant hops. Never heard of them hops before. Keep refrigerated. This is cold, and yeah, it looks good. And do you know the best thing about this? It's in a 500ml can. Thank you for doing that. And I got this from Beer Sniffers. I'll tell you about the price afterwards. It's 4.5% ABV. And it's a Czech Pilsner. Let's get it open. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to use my inverted commas, or what the Americans call quote unquote. I fucking hate that term. But Cloudwater did a Pilsner recently, and I know I keep going on about it in the videos, but it was just a lager with a load of American hops. You couldn't have got further away from a Pilsner if you tried, and they were punting that out as a Pilsner. It was absolute fucking dog shit. And Cloudwater are good at what they do, and what they do good is American IPAs. When they start fucking about with Hellas's and, you know, Pilsners, they just fuck it up massively. Anyway, rant over. There it is in the glass. What are we getting on the nose? I'm getting really strong sulphurous aromas, and this don't smell great. It reminds me of the sulphur that I was getting from the Tuka beer, the Hellas that I tried from Tuka, and that wasn't good. And this really doesn't smell good at all. Damn, I was hoping this was going to be a good one. It's craft brewed, so it's unfiltered and unpasteurised. That doesn't smell good. It's like a sulphur. Like it hasn't been lagered properly, and that sulphur is just built up and built up. If you could smell this, you would not be savouring that. I'm beginning to think now that I've been fucking sold a pup. Let me just let that calm down, because I'm getting absolutely no aromas from that. Let me tell you how much it costs. $3.50. Hang on, which one? I've got two. I've got an amber beer from them, and I've got the Vinohradský 11. This was £3.31. I'm hoping it's the sulphur that didn't escape from the lagering, and it's escaping now, because I really don't want to be, if you know, aroma is anything to go by. That smells fucking terrible. Just sulphur, nothing else. Really horrible. It's sort of calmed down, or either my nostrils have got adjusted to it, and now there's nothing. Just a faint whiff of sulphur. Oh god, this doesn't smell good at all. Right, wish me luck. Bottoms up. And it actually doesn't taste bad. Or you can definitely get the sour hops on the finish. It's not too bad. Very nice. Biscuit type malt. Bread stroke biscuit type malt. There is a crispness to this. Now, I don't use this word lightly. People talk about lager being crisp. My definition of crisp is a bitterness on the back end, but a light mouthfeel. And that's what I'm getting here on this. And it's very herbal. It's a herbal bitterness on the finish. But there's nice malts, and with Pilsner malt and Bavarian malt, you're going to get that nice sweet bread, biscuit, doughy, tight malt. But that sulphur has gone completely now, so I'm assuming where it's been unfiltered and unpasteurised, there's been more aromas that need to escape. And my suggestion is, if you do buy this, fill it out and let it stand for at least a minute, 2 minutes. Let all that sulphur just dissipate, because because that's perfectly natural. Sulphur is a byproduct of lagering, and when you lager bottom fermented beer, the sulphur will dissipate. Now, if it's not allowed to lager for too long, you will get a big build up of sulphur in the bottle. It shouldn't be confused with skunky beer, but you will open it up and there will be a horrible smell. That will go, and it's perfectly natural. It does not affect the flavour of the beer. Skunkiness, on the other hand, will, and that will manifest itself in clear and green bottles. You fucking know this. I've been ranting and raving about it for ages, but it does impart its aromas into the beer, into its flavour. This, however, this is quite nice. It's not bad. So it's got like a nettily bitterness to it, which is nice. You don't get that on a German Pilsner. With a German Pilsner, there's a lot more spice and a lot more earthiness to it. I think with the Saaz hops, that is a characteristic of Czech Pilsner, and that's how I differentiate the two. There is it's like a catty bitterness, nettle, green leaf type bitterness to it, which is different in my opinion. It gives it like the only way I can describe it is a crisp finish. But it's nice. It isn't bad. It's typically Czech. You wouldn't mistake that for any other style of beer. Certainly not a German beer. Maybe an East German beer. Some of them beers do share the same characteristics when they come from East Germany. But this is typically Czech. And it isn't bad, I have to say. I'm not sure how much this would be in the Czech Republic or in Prague, but all in all, I really had misgivings when I had the big rush of sulphur on it, but I have to say, it isn't that bad. It's in keeping with the style. Not the best Pilsner, but they've more or less captured that sort of style. And it ain't bad, I have to say. What's the verdict on Vinohradský Pivovar? It's not bad. I haven't tried a Czech Pilsner in a while. The last one I tried, as I mentioned, was the draft Budvar. That was absolutely amazing stuff. Obviously, this doesn't really come close. I know it's different when it comes out of a can. It's not going to be the same as it is on keg or on draft. But I will say this has got, I'm just looking here, it says 1893 to 2013. I don't know what that means. I really couldn't get much information about that, so I do apologise for that. But it's a good beer. It's very in keeping with the style. However, I don't think it's the best Czech Pilsner I've tried. I think, in fact, I tried a German Pilsner that was probably more in keeping with the Pilsner style than this, the Czech Pilsner style, and that was the the Burmish beer from Einsiedler. Was it Alt Burmish or something like that? But that was really good. This I don't think is as good. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's $3.55 a can, so it's got quite a nice flavours to it. Nice balance of sweet malt, biscuit malt, bread, and a nice grassy, catty, nettly type Saatshop finish on it. And it's, as I say, it's very in keeping with the style. I think I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I've tasted better, and that sulphurous aroma really did put me off at the start. And it's $3.55 a can if you can get it. So yeah, it's one of them beers that if you see it on, I think I got that from Beer Sniffers. Yeah, it was Beer Sniffers, wasn't it? Yeah, but buy some. It's nice to try. It is, and it will give you an idea. If you've never really tried a Czech Pilsner, I'm sure you have if you're watching this channel, but if you've never tried a Czech Pilsner, it does differ from the German style Pilsners, both from the north and the south of Germany. They're two distinct styles in their own right. But Czech Pilsner is good if you get a good one. Budvar, I think, do a good one. Stara Pramen, Pilsner Urquell. They're the three big brewers, and they're good. But there's also some very good small brewers around there that just don't see the light of day in the UK, which is a real shame. This has, and it's just okay. I know there's better out there. So that's why I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. But I'll recommend it if you see it on Beer Sniffers. And remember, beer is working class champagne.